up, everyone, and welcome to Political Nerds. I'm Steph the Alter Nerd, your nerdy political guide from Washington, D.C. to Westminster and beyond. Now, of course, before I jump into this, the usual disclaimers. Do your own research, come to your own conclusions, and I'm not inciting hatred to anyone or particular group, religion, etc. So let's jump into it first and foremost with this clip right here, because I bet that these words are now coming back to haunt two-tier Keir.
It's a political problem because a fish rots from the head. It's a political problem because a fish rots from the head. It's a political problem because a fish rots from the head.
Yes, indeed, the fish does rot from the head. And two-tier Keir, his is the head-rotting fish in this Labour dictatorship. And yes, as Keir Starmer's fish head continues to rot into oblivion, it has been scandal after scandal, as Tory chairman Kevin Hollinrake is saying right here.
We've seen scandal after scandal, as you say, even recently Angela Rayner, which we exposed her wrongdoing, Peter Mandelson with his Epstein relationship, and now we're seeing this donation scandal, and it is a scandal. You cannot take donations from sources without declaring them to the Electoral Commission and then to the parliamentary authorities. This is wrong. It is clear what has happened. It needs to be investigated, and if found guilty, sanctions imposed.
Yeah. And what do you think that the Standards Commission and the Electoral Commission will do about your letter? Will they get straight to it? I mean, will they take months and months to look at this?
Well, we've seen previous investigations, particularly the Parliamentary Standards Commissioner can act very quickly. And again, the Electoral Commission, this evidence is very clear. And the point with this is the previous excuses for non-declaration of these donations was admin error. This email that we have got, that we provided to the Electoral Commission, says very clearly this was a deliberate cover-up. It should not take long at all to reinvestigate this and then take forward any action that needs to be taken. And potentially the Parliamentary Standards Commissioner can impose a suspension, of course, of a Member of Parliament, which Keir Starmer is, and that could lead to a recall petition potentially and a re-election, a by-election in his constituency. So that would be the end of the Prime Minister, I think. We've seen
That would be the end of two-tier Keir indeed. Now, just to give you guys a little bit of an overview of what's actually happened here, how two-tier Keir now has a £730,000 problem on his desk right now, okay? Here is the article in question, exclusive. So this was broken by the Daily Mail, okay? Starmer's chief of staff and 700k admin error. Bombshell leaked email shows top Labour lawyer advised Prime Minister's aide Morgan McSweeney to describe the £700,000 in hidden donations as a mistake. So here, a top Labour lawyer advised Keir Starmer's chief of staff to describe £740,000 in hidden donations as, quote, an admin error. A leaked email explains. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. How can you say that? Oh yeah. £740,000 that we didn't declare. Yeah, that was just an admin error. Major big admin error that is. What the hell? So, the crisis engulfing Morgan McSweeney deepened after the bombshell email shed new light on a notorious episode in which his think tank was fined in 2021 for 20 breaches of electoral law involving undeclared donations. This isn't even the first time this mofo's done it. You can't turn around and say, oh, it was just an admin mistake. It was a one-off. Whoops, sorry. No, he's got done multiple times doing this bullshit. Multiple times. The email from the lawyer advised Mr. McSweeney to drop his unsubstantiated claim that he had not been told. Sorry. The email from the lawyer advised Mr. McSweeney, when I could get my teeth back in, to drop his unsubstantiated claim that he had been told donations totaling £739,492 to Labour together did not have to be declared. It warned him that unless he could back up the claim with evidence, it risked antagonising the Electoral Commission, which was investigating the scandal. It told him instead to try to pass the episode off as a simple admin error, guys. Just a simple admin error. The email, seen by the Daily Mail, was published in full on Tuesday night by the Conservatives, who stepped up calls for the police to investigate the affair. Tory party chairman Kevin Hollinrake said the evidence is clear. Morgan McSweeney has been caught red-handed hiding hundreds of thousands of pounds, which helped install Keir Starmer as Labour leader. So this was all donated and not declared during the period where they were trying to get rid of the last Labour leader before Keir. And I won't even say his name because I think he's an absolute disgrace to the UK and the British public. As far as I'm concerned, he doesn't represent the British public. He represents far, far away lands, but not here. They then say this latest scandal at the very heart of government is incredibly serious and potentially criminal, yet Keir Starmer has expressed his full confidence in his chief of staff, once again demonstrating his poor judgment and raising serious questions about his integrity and honesty. Yeah, I remember the last time he expressed full confidence in a member of his government. Yeah, it was... who was it again? Yeah, that US ambassador, that ex-US ambassador now, where he had links to Epstein and was a really good mate of Epstein, this, that, and the other. And even when that all came out, oh, what did Keir Starmer say again? Oh, yeah, it was, I have full confidence in him. I have full confidence in, oh, yeah, what was it? Peter Mandelson, wasn't it? Yeah, I remember now. Yeah. I have full confidence in Peter Mandelson. A day later, he was gone. Now we're seeing it again. Oh, I have full confidence in my chief of staff. Even though he didn't declare the £740,000 in donations to Labour Together to help install me as the newest Labour leader, because it was just an admin error, that's all. But I still have full confidence in my chief of staff. Nearly £750,000 was donated that wasn't declared. And you're turning around and saying you still have full confidence in your chief of staff. Piss off. Are you kidding me? If it was the other way around, Keir Starmer would be asking for their heads on a platter. I only think it is right that we do the same for him. We need his head on a platter. He needs to resign. The buck stops with him. As he said right at the beginning, the fish does rot from the head. Keir is the head rotting fish in this Labour dictatorship. He needs to go. The whole lot of them need to go. They're all corrupt. Every single one of them. It's been scandal after scandal after scandal. Mandelson. Three Pads Rayner. More recent ones. Now you've got the chief of staff and Starmer's £740,000 problem. How Keir thinks that him and his Labour dictatorship can survive another 4 more years is beyond me. We're having an emergency general election before then. The sooner the better. Now, Conservative MP Kevin Hollinrake actually provides a timeline as to what has happened here. So let's break this down even further. So Starmer's rise to number 10 was secretly bankrolled, and it was secretly bankrolled because that 740 grand was not declared. Oh yeah, he was secretly bankrolled. His chief of staff hid £739,000 of donations, broke Electoral Commission rules and plotted to lie it off as an admin error. Starmer took the benefit but never declared it. So in early 2018, the Electoral Commission told Morgan McSweeney directly, LT as a members association needed to continue to register donations. He knew the rules. He knew the rules. So he can't turn around and say, oh, sorry, a little bit ignorant here. I didn't know that you had to declare that amount. I didn't know we had to declare that. No. He knew the rules. He knew. Early 2018, instead of complying, McSweeney stopped declaring donations. Labour's lawyer later admitted the legislation is clear that notwithstanding, LT should have reported. And then between 2018 and 2020, nearly £739,492 in undeclared cash secretly funded Labour Together's operations. Polling, staffing, campaigning from LT directly fuelled Keir Starmer's leadership campaign. And yeah, it secretly fuelled Keir Starmer's campaign. Because again, this was an amount that wasn't even declared. So before we go any further with this timeline, I've got a question to ask for a friend here. Did Keir Starmer become leader of the Labour Party and then by extension Prime Minister of the United Kingdom fraudulently? I'm just asking for a friend here. But with him not declaring the nearly £740,000 in donations that helped him to be installed as Labour leader, and by extension then the Prime Minister of the UK, did he fraudulently make his way to become Labour leader and therefore by extension fraudulently become our Prime Minister? I'm just asking for a friend. What do you guys think? Now, let's get on to the rest of this timeline. So, August 2018, £12,500 donation from Trevor Chin and others deliberately hidden. Why? Lawyer explains they, quote, were aware of the growing anti-Semitism in the party and sought to protect Trevor as donor and director. The motivation, hide donors and bankroll Starmer's rise. Using the guise of anti-Semitism. Oh, come on. Come on. February 2021, when exposed, Labour's lawyer proposed the cover-up. We've tried to wrinkle out of the EC without raising their suspicions. This is the Electoral Commission. So we've tried to wrinkle out of the Electoral Commission without raising their suspicions. In other words, yeah, we've tried to duck and dive. We've tried to, with intent, as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, defraud the Electoral Commission. Defraud any investigation the Electoral Commission may have had in this situation. They've tried to duck and dive and weave instead of fully cooperating with the Electoral Commission and fully abiding by the rules of the Electoral Commission. You got it there in black and white. We have tried to wrinkle out of the Electoral Commission without raising their suspicions. Perhaps best to base our case as admin error. So let's just continue to wrinkle out the Electoral Commission even further. Duck, dive, weave, dodge. And not be truthful, not be honest, not follow the rules, and just blame it on an admin error. Even though they admitted earlier on that they knew that not declaring that money was against the Electoral Commission and the rules, and that they should have declared it in the first place. The chain is undeniable. McSweeney knowingly broke the Electoral Commission rules. £739,000 hidden donations bankrolled Labour Together. That work propped up Starmer's leadership bid. Starmer should have declared this support in kind in his register of interest, but did not. This wasn't admin error. It was a deliberate cover-up to secretly bankroll Starmer's rise all the way a Downing Street. And again, I go back to my previous question. Now that we know, right, that Starmer and his team didn't declare this nearly £740,000 in donation that helped him become Labour leader, then he became Labour leader by not following the Electoral Commission rules. Starmer became leader of the Labour Party without following to the letter the rules of the Electoral Commission. As such, if he didn't follow to the letter the rules of the Electoral Commission, him becoming Labour leader, did he do that fraudulently then? And by extension, by him becoming Labour leader, that then paved the way for him becoming Prime Minister. So if he fraudulently became Labour leader, does that by extension then mean that he also then fraudulently became Prime Minister? Again, I'm just asking for a friend here, but what do you guys think? Now, Tory MP, Alex Burghardt, well, yeah, he's accusing Starmer's chief of staff for breaking the law here. And so he's saying the following. That's a criminal offence. They deliberately broke the law. Check this clip out from Talk TV.
New information has come to light in the past few days that shows they probably deliberately withheld that information from the Electoral Commission. And that's a criminal offence. So the implication is that the Prime Minister's right-hand man broke the law, deliberately broke the law. But also, we've now discovered that the Prime Minister did not declare any of the services that he received from Labour Together to the parliamentary authorities, which is again an incredibly serious breach of protocol. So there are major questions hanging over both of these men this morning, over their judgment. And this is just off the back of the whole Mandelson-Epstein saga.
Yeah. Now, there were many reactions. This is the one that I want to highlight, though, that I thought was quite pithy, really, in a way. This is from Burnside on X, at Burnside was Tosh, and they're saying the following. Wish I had an admin error that led me to banking £730,000. Normally it leads a fine from HMRC. Starmer is toast. Yeah, because if it was anyone else, we'd be crucified for nearly £750,000 not being declared. We'd be crucified for it. But Keir Starmer and his Labour dictatorship think that they can get away with this. No. I'm holding their feet to the fire on this one. And again, this to me raises a significant question as to the legitimacy now of Keir Starmer and the role that he's in. Because again, if they didn't follow the Electoral Commission's rules, they didn't declare this nearly £750,000. So, as such, if they're not declaring that, right, then him becoming leader of the Labour Party was done when he didn't follow the rules of the Electoral Commission in the first place to the letter. As such, if he didn't follow the rules to the letter of the Electoral Commission, then him being made leader of the Labour Party may have been done fraudulently as a result. And by extension, because then he became leader of the Labour Party, that paved the way then for him to then become Prime Minister of the UK. In that scenario, did he then also, by extension, commit fraud that would allow him to become Prime Minister of the UK? His whole legitimacy is called into question now, just as the Prime Minister in the first place. Is he legitimately our Prime Minister when his rise to that role was done illegally and fraudulently? What they did was illegal. They should have declared that money. They didn't. They then tried to defraud the Electoral Commission by turning around and saying, yeah, we knew the rules. We ignored it all the same. We're now being caught out. So do you know what? Let's just put it to admin error. Yeah. His rise to the Prime Minister's role involved fraud, breaking the law, then he shouldn't be our Prime Minister, right? I'm just asking for a friend here. Now, for those watching live, stay exactly where you guys are. I'm not done with you guys yet. We're going to get on to the next topic in a moment. If you haven't done so already, though, do make sure you subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe here on Political Nerds. If you're watching on X, make sure you follow me at Steph Alter Nerd. Like, share. If you're watching on the replay, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's on this one. Again, those watching live, stay exactly where you are. I'm not done with you guys yet. But for those watching on the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all your faces. And until the next time, you guys, laters.